Support for today's episode comes from Foria Wellness, where they believe pleasure is your nature. They believe in the healing power of sexual pleasure. Look, y'all know I'm all in. I give 5 stars, 10 thumbs up, whatever you need. This is #Boonie approved. This brand believes the sexual needs of women have been often overlooked and under-addressed for way too long, and their products are looking to change that story. Now you're going to get wet. Everything going to feel good. You're probably going to have one of the best orgasms you've had in quite some time. So use the code Boonie, all capital letters, to save 20% on your order. That code expires on December 31st, 2022. Head on over to the show notes or thebooниebreakdown.com for more information how to purchase. Hey y'all, it's your girl Boonie, and you're listening to the Boonie Breakdown podcast, your source for all things responsible and ratchet. All right. Welcome to episode 228. We have our problematic fave in the building this week. This episode is so fucking funny, right? Because y'all know Brian and I, we never plan what we're going to talk about. Every now and then he'll shoot me like, oh, here's a message. We got to talk about this. But we have a conversation about bathroom sex. Why do women want men when they're attached? And he also talks about how men can't handle the thought of somebody knowing somebody else fucked their girl, right? So you want to stick around for this conversation. You know how Brian and I do. I don't even have to set this up anymore. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to laugh. You're going to say whatever. You're going to say, I will say this though. Brian is less problematic, right? Last couple episodes there hasn't been problematic, but it's just like, it's Brian though. He's the one we love to hate. So stick around for that conversation. All right, let's hop right into my pick of the week. Sex Lives with College Girls on HBO Max. It is such a funny, lighthearted, ridiculous show. I do hate the name of the show because like Sex Lives with College Girls is kind of sterile and weird. Like they could have come up with something better. But if you want to laugh out loud, you need to check the show out. It's currently in its 2nd season. The characters, it's like 4 main characters and then they have like the little subset characters, but everyone works so well together. Like you end up liking each character for different reasons, and some of them are funny as fuck. So if you're watching Sex Lives of College Girls, let me know what you think. If you haven't, check it out. I promise you, it is really funny. It reminds you of like, not in content, but like just a mindless watch. It reminds you of like the Emily in Paris kind of shit, right? It's just mindless, funny. Check it out, HBO Max.
Housekeeping. Come back later, please. Housekeeping? Not now.
All right, let's just hop right back into our feedback from episode 227 with Bria the Goddess, aka Bria Badass. I received one message that said, Boonie, I was feeling Bria when she said all sex work is not survival work. That is right. It's a fact. As a sex worker, when you love what you do, it is not work. Not all of us found ourselves into this work path because we were in struggle, homeless, or a victim of domestic violence and trying to make a way. Some of us have owned our sexuality and have found a way to monetize it. And like Bria said, all of this is not actually sex acts included. There are many ways to be a sex worker and make money. This episode was so needed. So thank you so much for your feedback. If you have not checked out that episode, go back and listen to episode 227. It's a stick up with Bria the Goddess. Also, I want to thank everyone who placed an order this past week. What is it for Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all that shit. Thank you so much. All of your orders should be shipping out. If they have not already shipped, they'll be shipping today, Monday, as you're listening to this. And also, I still have a few shirts on hand that are cheaper than the website that were available at the live shows. So those shirts are going for $20. You guys took all the totes now, but I just do have a few t-shirts left. So if you're interested, you can just go ahead and message me and let me know, like, Boonie, what you got left, and we can converse about that. So guys, thank you so much for your support on the merch. And you know what? If this is your first time listening, welcome. If it's not your first time listening, welcome back. You can follow us on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at The Boonie Breakdown. You can follow us over on Twitter at Boonie Breakdown. So that's it for me. So let's get ready to break it down. Hey, y'all. I'm laughing because our problematic fave is on this episode. And he just had to like get himself centered in ratchetness before we started.
Yeah, I had to break down my barriers and get myself ready for this episode. I always know I gotta kind of go with inside myself as I'm not living a life of ratchet anymore. I have to find the ratchet in me to honor the ratchet in you.
Oh, come on now. It's hard for me to just understand. I don't think I've known a Brian who has never lived in his ratchetness.
I mean, I live in it in a different way.
Okay.
But it's still there.
Okay.
Just in a different way.
Oh, so you breaking hearts right now. Somebody listening to this is like, damn. But I'm going to call my ladies out because that's not even true. Women are raggedy as fuck because when they know you got somebody, that's when they want you more.
That's true. That is 1,000% true because it's like if you single.
Can you prop your phone? Because I just see your lips.
Oh,
there we
wow.
go. Back up. There we go.
I don't need you being added to that number.
Oh, Lord.
No, but that's the thing. Like when you single, it's like you come off and you try to talk to a female or you say something to them. It's like you're thirsty. If you're in a relationship, it's almost like it's like an unwritten rule where it's like, oh, he's safe until he's not safe. And then it's like all of a sudden, like you could tell with some type of like or attraction there. It's crazy. Why y'all like this?
I don't know. I think, I feel like the reason why I'm not like that, I know they say everything go back to childhood. My childhood had some wild moments. And so a lot of points of trauma for me as a child were centered around the adults around me and them being adulterers. And so for that reason, I'm not interested in motherfuckers who are claimed.
Yeah, I don't like sharing. So at the end of the day, like even like so that's like the hardest thing for me. Like it's crazy because I'm so trusting. Like I'm a really trusting person. But a lot of the women that I did deal with when I was single, I would say probably a good number of them were married. And like people were like, well, how could you be sleeping with this amount of women at one time? Like, well, these 2 or 3 were married. So it was never really anything consistent. You know what I mean? It'd be like when they can get out. They'd be like, oh yeah, as soon as I drop the kids to school, can I slide through for
I was just about to say, we were talking about this in the Insta stories. I had asked about, I think I shared something about people, women liking men who are attached. And some woman responded to me with this whole thing about she only dates married men, and not because she's broken or anything. It's because they give her enough of what she can handle. She's like, I get dick when it's convenient. I get gifts. I have enough time, but I'm able to do my own thing. And so many women agreed with that. I was just so shocked. And not just single women, but also married women who were like, yeah, I'm married, but I cheat for those reasons that you just mentioned.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, my thing is like, I be in my mind, like, how can I be so trusting knowing shit that I've done? But
look at you having faith.
No, I'm just the type of person I am. Like, I judge everybody individually. Like, I can't meet you and be like, oh yeah, you the same as everybody else. You the same as the last chick. But
everybody get a clean slate.
Yeah, everybody get a clean slate. I do know the signs when you're at the market for 2 hours. I do know the signs, bitch. I know what that is. Like, I just was at the market. What am I gonna do? Pull over in the parking lot by the market and suck a nigga dick real quick before you go home? Like,
can I tell you something so toxic?
You did that?
No, but I have an active fantasy right now with somebody who I have a physical relationship with, that I have had this dream several times, and I finally just I share the dreams. I'm definitely that girl in the meme where it's like, you was in my dream and the dream is us smashing. I'm totally that girl, and I will always text. But with this particular person, I have a fantasy where I want him to be out on a date with another girl, and I just happen to be there with my people. And we kind of like lock eyes and we meet up in the bathroom, and he just like fuck the shit out of me in the bathroom, and he go back to like, and then I like make him eat me out Then I make him go back, and when he sits down at the table, I make him kiss the bitch that he was with. So toxic, but it's a fantasy, and I really want to do it with this particular person.
That's terrible. Like, so so who's gonna be your pawn in the middle of this? Some dude is really gonna have to sit there and be part of this. He's gonna have to find some female to be a part of this, and then y'all gonna go do this and come back, and it's gonna be so fucking obvious.
Yeah, like I just really want that to happen. I know it's so toxic.
What bathroom is gonna be nice enough for him to be eating your pussy and fucking you in? Y'all gonna be somewhere expensive.
I mean, yeah, take the bitch out nice because you gonna kiss her with my pussy lips, juice on your lips. But yeah, I don't know why that is a fantasy of mine. I'll unpack it in therapy. I just scheduled some therapy sessions. I was on a break. I'm going to go back to therapy. But I've just been having this dream often with this nigga. And so I finally just said it. He was like, well, I ain't really like, I only got you on the rotation. I'm not really dating nobody. And I'm like, well, just start a bit. Like, I know you're not going to have no trouble. He said, that's more trouble than what it's worth. But let me think about it.
Sounds like you're going to be sitting there at the bar by yourself, waiting for this whole situation to go down. If you treat me to dinner, I'll come and sit there and act like we're on a date together. And then I get my free dinner, and then he'll feel like
we can record it afterwards. Is that terrible? I can't even believe I just said this out loud, but we'll see. I don't know. He may not be up for it, but I put it out there and we'll see.
Yeah, that's interesting. But
yeah, I don't know why though. I think because I also know I don't really see a future with this person. So just knock it out the way. But
yeah, see, the whole thing, I think when people have this desire to do those dream sex things, I always think that there's a lie. You know what I mean? Like old school back in the day, you'd be like, oh shit, I had a dream about you last night. Because you're trying to find a way to get this shit out there. And they'd be like, well, what happened? And you'd be like, nah, I don't really want to tell you because shit was wild. And then all of a sudden, like, well, what happened? You can tell me. And it's like, I just came over, next thing I know, we started kissing and shit. I was looking down your stomach like, oh, for real? Like, tell me more. Now, like, if she don't be like, ew, that's nasty, you in there. But that's like some old school sneak shit right there.
Now, I'm definitely the queen of that shit. I will. Because, sometimes, it's a dream. Like, it ain't happened. I don't know what my subconscious is thinking. Yeah, you get to test the waters without testing the waters.
Yeah, it's like a trial close in sales world. We call it like a trial close. You just see if it's time for you to go in and really ask for the business, or you still got some more work to do. So, yeah, that's what that is. That's interesting.
Come on, it is. So I shot my shot. We'll see. He ain't say no. And I tried to like soften it. Like, is that crazy? He's like, no, that's not crazy. It's fucking hilarious. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he laughed at us. I'm like, all right, he down. He's gonna find a bitch he willing to do it with.
Yeah, it gotta be a decent bathroom. That's all I'm gonna say.
Because I don't even like fucking peeing in some bathrooms. So
you never been fucked in a bathroom before?
No, I have, but like, who you talking to? But I'm just saying, like, the bathroom standard has to meet a certain standard.
Yeah, I know.
Four Seasons.
There's gotta be somewhere nice.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like it's gotta be one of them bathroom doors you can lock. Like somewhere where like you lock it, or you in a certain part of the hotel and it's like nobody really knows.
So one time I was in another city, and this was just, I'm in another city, and it was one of those bathrooms where you could lock the door, but it was one of those where it was like one bathroom, both genders. It's a line in the hallway waiting for you to come out. The line, we was doing a lot. So when we came out, I was like, it's people out here, right? And he's like, yeah, I mean, man up, like, let's go. And I'm like, well, I said, it's no point in me walking out, because then somebody's gonna try to come in. I'll be like, somebody's in. So we just gotta come out together. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. So we go out, and it was a nice, clean bathroom, but it was 4 people waiting. And the one lady just looked at us with such the disdain on her face, was like, you nasty motherfuckers. And now I got to go in there and pee. And I'm like, they got a Lysol can on the floor. Go ahead and spray, sis. Thanks.
That's funny. That's funny. But you know, this whole topic that we just had about like married women kind of brings us into like the thing I sent you on Instagram.
Oh yes, it does. It does.
So the whole thing that I was thinking when I seen that. So just to kind of get the people,
what it was.
I'm gonna get a backstory, right?
All right.
So the guy is like already in tears. He's like, I ain't know you fucked, dude. I ain't know you told me you fucked, dude, but I ain't know it was meat to meat. You fucked him raw. And then that's when he'd be like, did he pull out? And she'd be like, I don't know. And then he just dropped the phone down and he'd be like, come back and be like, I'm here. And it's so funny because I think a lot of women cheat because the man might have already cheated or the man has gotten caught cheating, right? Because I think we think we're really good at this shit, but y'all are like the masters of it. It doesn't mean that she's never cheated or whatever, but it's like at that point where I know a lot of people who either separated or divorced at this age, and it seems like you look around and everybody's like going through it. And I try to tell my friends when they going through this shit, like I've been through this shit long before all of them. And I'm like, yo, that separation shit is different, bruh. Like that first week, you feel like you back in college because you fucking and doing your shit. And you start to just slowly forget that like somewhere along the way, like your wife is capable of the same shit that you're doing. But it don't really hit you. And then at some point, y'all end up in counseling or somewhere. And you'd be like, I still love you. I still love you. And then it'd be like, all right, let's get back together. And then somebody either ask the question or come up in some way. And you'd be like, so you fuck somebody? Like, you really don't want to know, but it's like you kind of want to know and shit. And that shit hurt like a bitch because it'd be like, damn. But you know, I think we take it to a whole nother level in the sense that like we just be fucking bitches. Like we don't care. Like we just fucking, and that's how we get through it. But we feel like y'all gotta really like somebody to fuck them. Like that's the part that fuck us up because it's like, that's my wife, dog. Like she fucked another nigga. And now it's a nigga out here who I don't know who he is, who like, yeah, I was fucking his wife. So and that shit hurt. I felt it. It was funny, but this shit wasn't funny.
Yeah. So I have never been married, but I'll say this. I did say like I don't cheat because of my trauma, but I definitely had to prove a point to a nigga one time because he said some slick shit. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this nigga back. And so that was my next thought. Well, like, fuck you, I'm gonna go fuck somebody else. And I go to this particular person, I go through it all, and shout out to Mama Ratchet because we were in Philadelphia and I had drove her to Philadelphia and I was like, oh, this is the perfect setup. She calls like, I'm ready, come pick me up. And I'm like, all right, I'm coming. And so she must know me because my mother know me. She called back again, like, no, leave right now. And I'm like, because I definitely was going to fucking and leave. So I was like, no, I gotta go. So I did not fuck, but I definitely got the dick hard. I'm feeling the dick, all that shit that goes, but no fucking. So when the nigga talks slick to me again, I dropped the bomb. Like, oh, you can do what you want. I already fucked somebody else. Because I needed to cut. And the look on his face was like, I could choke the shit out of you right now. Like, I never thought he would actually harm me, but I'm glad we weren't in person because he might have tried. I might have had to kill that nigga. But like, I could see the look on his face is like, I'm going to kill you. I'm so hurt. Later, then he told me that that's one of the things that has always hurt him that I did was that I turned to another nigga. And I was like,
but you didn't do it though.
But I didn't. I did finally confess because I told him, I was like, I fucked another nigga, but I didn't. I just needed it to hurt. And he was like, nah, I don't believe you. And I was like, well, you don't gotta believe me, but I did not. I was like, the dick was out, but I did not fuck. But I get it. I feel like I could be if I wanted to be a cheater, a very methodical, heartless cheater, but
I think
just
women
choose
just
not
don't.
to.
I think women like y'all get away with it because it's just like y'all just women like.
But
y'all get away with shit differently. Like if a man don't
y'all are
answer his phone,
sloppy.
no, but if a man don't answer his phone, it's almost like, what the fuck was you doing?
Because
If a
y'all
woman
sloppy.
don't answer her phone, no, if a woman don't answer her phone, it's like, oh, my shit was in my purse. I was asleep. Y'all already just naturally fucking like weird with y'all phone shit. Like, man, we be feeling like we gotta answer our shit because we be like, oh yeah, she gonna think I'm doing something. Or we be over explaining just regular shit like, yeah, because I ain't have my phone because I was in the gym and I had set it down on the counter and my Bluetooth was playing and
Because
I
y'all
couldn't
lies
find
be
it.
too sophisticated, right?
But
It's just
I'm
it was
saying
in my
it don't
purse.
even be nothing going on though.
But
It
I'm
don't be
like,
nothing
it's in
going
my
on.
purse. Like that's
Yeah,
enough.
right.
But
Y'all
you
be
like
like,
the
oh,
Bluetooth was disconnected. That's too much already.
but see, I
Keep
don't
it
think
simple.
but that's not even when we lying. We doing this shit because we missed a fucking call and we just trying to make sure we don't get no fucking trouble. Like that'd be the shit. Like I don't know. I just think that it's funny as shit because my whole point of sending it was just that men cannot handle the fact that their woman got fucked. And I think we go into it with the idea that I'm gonna live this lifestyle and I'm gonna go back to my wife. And then that's why I put up on a post last night, like, you don't get a nigga back like that. Cause that's really like, this shit hurt 10 times more because we fuck for different reasons.
Well, I think that's the belief, right? I think the belief is that women have to be emotionally tied to fuck. I will say I'm just starting to feel a little bit. That's just starting to creep into my pussy and my heart. Before I could fucking be good. Like it is what it is. But now I'm starting to feel.
But you're a little different though. You're a little different. Like you on the left side of the whole pendulum.
But I think most people would be shocked how many women can do that, right?
I think especially y'all can. I think y'all can.
Younger.
I think some of y'all choose not to. But I think some of y'all just choose to be like, fuck it, this is how I'm gonna live. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if as a nigga hurt you somewhere along the way, but like I know women who want to fuck like dudes. And that's the shit that, like, it's so funny because I was having this conversation and I was like, the women who want to fuck all the time, who want to suck dick all the time, who pussy wet all day, just fucking want to fuck all day. Don't never fucking get tired. Pussy don't get swole. Don't want to stop. Like, just fucking just disgusting. You can't marry her. Like, you can never.
Why?
I don't know what it is. It's like we always end up marrying the one who be like, all right, that's enough now. Like, we're not going to be fucking every day, all day.
But I don't understand that rationale.
Because, it's something about the woman that's insatiable that we just cannot marry.
So men can't handle women with those high sex needs and desires.
Yeah, we can't. And it's almost like you can handle it when you just fucking her. But almost in a relationship, you'd be like, yo, if I go out of town for a week, what this bitch gonna do? Cause she like a nigga. But and then I think the other thing
insecurities.
Is, I don't even know if it's that. It's just a weird feeling like it's almost like a weird feeling like she not wifey material. You know what I mean? And it's not just the sex part. It's more of like it's more of the whole, what's that shit called that y'all be putting in y'all bio? Free spirit. It's that free spirit shit. Like, she just a free spirit all around. And that shit is scary as fuck. When, like, you can't even go, like, 3 minutes without her tapping your dick and sucking you off everywhere y'all at. Like, this shit is too much.
So here's the thing. I've always said
you hear that echo in my furniture-less living room.
I've always said free spirit is code word for hoe.
Always. When I see that shit, I'll be like, we got one, baby.
That is code word for hoe. So here's the thing. I do feel like it's a shock to not all men, some men when they encounter women who have those high sex drives. This is where I'm getting fucked up right now, right? And you help me through this, friend. I had to cuss my mother out because I just tell her, you talked to me about a lot of shit and you were open about a lot of stuff, but you did not tell me as I got over 35 heading into 40 that my sex drive was going to feel like I was a fucking teenage boy. Like, I'm that woman. I want to have sex all the time right now. Like, all the time. If it's a nigga around me that I'm attracted to, I want to fuck him all the time. It's insane. But it's just because my hormones I'm blaming it on my hormones.
See, that's how we are when we're young, and that's the opposite.
And that's the thing, it's not fair because women now, but here's the other part to it that's really fucked up. I want to fuck everything. Like, I want to fuck all the time. It's like the supply ain't meeting the demand, but these niggas ain't fuckable, right? And so I'm convinced, Brian, I am convinced that niggas are lying about how much they fucking, right? Or you're even fucking busted chicks, or you're fucking young girls, because a lot of bitches my age and older are not fucking. They're not actively fucking. So I'm like, who the fuck y'all fucking in? So y'all must be fucking young girls or busted bitches, because when I be doing these polls in my stories.
The whole point is this. This is the whole point.
What's the point?
There's so much pussy out here. And that's why niggas be cheating, because it's not enough dick to go around.
That's what I'm saying. The supply, that's why the demand.
That's why it's chicks comfortable with fucking somebody that's married or somebody who live with somebody or whatever. I get it. I totally understand. But that's the part where when you decide that you want to have a roster of 3 or 4 and you're single and you're honest with people, you can easily have 3 or 4 solid 30 to 40-year-olds on your roster. And they just be cool with it. Like, they just be cool with a little date here, fucking here, there. And then a lot of times, like you said, you horny as fuck. You want to fuck. So all of a sudden, it's like when a nigga hit that line, like start pressing that line, like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, like, yo, I'm going to stop through, unlock the door. That door be unlocked all night. She laying there with that fucking lingerie or whatever on. And that shit be so fucking easy. Like, I think for me, it get to a point where you like, damn, what if like she is fucking another nigga? Like, you really start be
Who give a fuck about the other nigga? Come fuck me. Like, it may be another one. I'm just tonight, nigga, it's you.
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't like sharing at all. Like, I'm selfish.
That is like, some fucked up
I
shit.
said it on an episode before. Like, I think somebody called me a fuck boy because I'm like, they're like, well, what if she decides she want to fuck other people? I'm like, then she can fucking leave. Like, at the end of the day, like, you can fucking go. But you don't have to stay and deal with me fucking other people. But at the moment that I'm single and we fucking off and we doing what we doing, I can do what the fuck I want. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and give you a whole bunch of stories. But if you think you could do what I do, I can show you better that you can do this shit by yourself.
That is fucked up, but I appreciate the honesty with it, right? Like,
don't you got that same option?
You're right.
So if you fucking a nigga, you fucking a nigga, you fucking a dude, right? And all of a sudden it's Thursday night and you want to be fucked. And you like, yo, my favorite show about to come on. I'm gonna get some dick. Like, I got some wine. Like, yo, you should come over tonight. And he like, damn, I'm already like got something planned. And you like, nigga, what you got? Another bitch you gonna go see? And he a real nigga like me. And he say some shit like, well, since you asked, yeah, like I already got some plans. Like, well, you like, well, come over after. And he like, well, you know, I probably stay the night or some shit. And then you like, well, fuck you then, nigga. Like, you might be laughing and joking, but in the back of your mind, you be like, I'm not fucking this nigga no more. Because you already know he actively fucking somebody else. And you have that right to feel like you want to take some ownership of the dick that might not be yours, but you also might know that he hitting it meat to meat.
That saying is just so fucking funny to me, meat to meat. But I guess and maybe this is the difference between men and women. I just always operate under the guise that any nigga I'm talking to is already talking to other people. So I don't fucking ask questions that I know the motherfucking answer to. So I'm never going to ask no nigga. Like,
a lot of women don't ask. And they assume that they're the only one. And I feel like that's the problem when they don't ask and they start having this feeling like, oh, I thought I was the only one because, you know, I see you 2 times a week, or I've seen you like, you come over and you stay the night and your phone don't ring, or whenever we was together, like, I never really felt like, well, when I talked to you, you was always busy or you was doing this. Like, when did you find time? Like, when did I find time? Like, come on, man. Like, you don't understand. Like, time it only take 15 to 20 minutes to have good sex. Like, you can have some good ass sex in 20 minutes.
So you just really busting up in, nothing and coming out.
No, I'm just saying that's not necessarily like what I was doing, but I'm saying that's all it
Oh, okay.
takes.
I was like,
No,
talk
I
to us
said
more
that.
about this.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's all it takes. But sometimes certain relationships don't even require you to do more. Like if you
Damn.
fucking one of the married chicks, they just in and out because they got to pick the kids up or they dropping the kids off, and they got all these fucking duties they got to do.
Well,
And
listen,
they neglect it.
I'm doing a
And
PSA right now. I'm a single bitch with no motherfucking kids. 15, 20 minutes not enough. You need to clear the calendar, sir. Because I just told you I'm horny as fuck. Clear the calendar.
but see, that's that shit. That's that shit too. Where like we'll get used to fucking once, and then all of a sudden we'll come across a woman like you, or come across like some woman who want to have multiple times. Like that relationship sex and that other shit be like one time and you be done and you be sleep. And then all of a sudden you run across that cougar or that younger woman who's like, come on, young man. Come on, young man. that the fucking save audio that be on Instagram. Yes. And then like you hit it like pat, 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 pat.
Yes.
And she be like, come on, young man. Come on, young man. Yo, that shit real as shit. Them fucking cougars do not play about that shit.
Oh my God, what age?
Get that shit back up. They be like, get that shit back up and let's fucking go. And you be like, God damn. Like, God damn, bitch, you not tired?
That's literally me, like, orgasms beget orgasms. If you fucking right. If that shit was weak, you can get the fuck on. If that shit was hitting, nah, nigga, let's order some food. We can eat and then we can go again.
Hey, long as you giving me a decent enough grace period. I'm not fucking in my 20s no more. Now when we that's why the shit is fucked up because our shit is backwards. So when we in our 20s,
not right.
Right. We in our 20s, we our shit probably don't even fucking go down after we bust. We just keep fucking going. Like it'd be like, oh shit, like I fucked 4 times.
Fair.
And then y'all be like regular. Now you fucking get older, you fucking horny as a bitch. And then we like at the one, we be like, shit, I've been working all day.
I literally said something to my gynecologist when I went for my annual. She doing my pap smear, and I always try to keep small talk while she doing her little scrapes and shit. And I was just like, yeah, you know.
Who's your GYN number?
I'll text you. I'm not gonna say it on.
I mean, I know a lot. I know some of them. That's why.
But yes, I'm just like, is it normal? Because I'm like, I literally like my hormones are out of control, and she's like, no, this happens to women, 35 to 45, heading into 50. Your body's, this is like your last chance. Like, let's get pregnant. Let's get pregnant. Let's get pregnant. That's what your body is saying to you. And I'm just like, oh my, it's just this. Nobody talks about this. And so I really had to say something to Robert Lynn because I was just like, Ma, you have warned me about a lot. You've warned me about niggas being on blood pressure medicine, their dick's not getting hard. Like, you warned me about a lot, but you ain't warned me about this.
Hey, I got high blood pressure and my dick still works.
Are you on the medications?
The medication helps you. We talked about this before.
No. So maybe there's
at the end of the day, if your pressure is too high and you're not taking anything, that's the fucking problem.
Listen, maybe there's been some advancements since Mama Ratchet's whole days, but Mama Ratchet gave me a long list.
That's probably because
That's
probably because they was on a beta blocker.
But I'm just saying, like, it really is not fair because I can name quite a few women who are in the same boat.
No, I know a lot of them too. I mean, I think that's the whole thing. Like,
where's the meat though? Where's the fucking meat? Because, I think I told you this. I know I told Sheikah, but I had caved, right? Like, I was just like, I'm on a date, it's like our second date or first date or second date. So I'm like, I know the nigga. I'm just gonna be honest. So I'm just like, I'm so horny that if he acts right, I will fuck him tonight. Like, he just gotta act right. He don't have to piss me off. So it was cool. He was like, oh, nightcap. I'm like, yeah, we can go back to your place. So we go back to his house and we on the couch. I was like, okay, nice little place. We on the couch, we kissing. I'm doing the reach. We talked about the reach doing the kiss, doing the reach. And I'm like, where is it? So he goes, so I start unbuckling because I'm like, nah, I got to see it because I'll just leave at this point, right? And so I'm unbuckling his pants and he was like, oh, gummy worm. And I'm like, after all that, your dick is still like flaccid. This is what I'm saying in my head. And he just I think he saw my face and I was just like such disappointment. He goes, oh yeah, it does that from time to time. I was like, it does nothing? Because that's what's happening. Nothing's happening. And he's like, yeah. And he was like, so we can watch a movie if you want.
What?
I ain't come over here watch no goddamn movie. So I just was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I gotta get up. So I was so hot.
Yeah, he should have. Yeah, he shouldn't even have put himself in that position.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Like at that point, like I'm telling you, that's the whole thing. Like we talked about this on the last episode. That kissing shit, like at this point in our life, is important.
It
like,
is.
So all of a sudden, like we kissing, you know, like I gotta get like a little chubby or something. And then once like that point, I'm pulling it out for you. I'm taking your hand and guiding it right down there, like, hey, mama. Hey, you know what I mean? Like
I ain't get none of that action, yo. And I was just so disappointed. And what was heartbreaking about it was he was only 42. That's young.
Yeah, I'm 43.
That was young. And he was just like,
yeah, making us look bad.
Yeah, it happens. And I was like, all right, well.
Got some underlying health issues. He need to get treated.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the shit I'm talking about. Niggas not on medicine, not taking care of themselves, not going to the gym, not still working out, not still getting that cardio in. All of that shit is important. I'm telling you.
He just gave up on himself at 42. And I'm like,
listen,
I'm telling you.
At the point where I'm not above it. I sold Viagra when I worked at Pfizer when I was in my 20s.
I'm not above it either.
I'm not above it. I will fucking be in that motherfucking kitchen like, hey, babe, you want me to take a half? Because I could be ready in 30 minutes. Like, long as that motherfucker's still working and I know what to do with it, we'll go all fucking night. I don't give a fuck.
That's the thing.
The last thing I'm going to do is fucking be over that motherfucker depressed in the corner talking about.
Let me tell you something.
Time to time. No, nigga, you gotta get your shit together.
If any man is listening, I promise you, I can't speak for others, but I feel like some would agree. I would rather you take a pill to get your dick hard than tell me it does that from time. Nah, not acceptable. Not acceptable, yo.
That's bad. That's bad. Because I already know, like, this is the thing that I know. Like,
what you know?
From when I was single before, and for 3 years I was single. We have the oyster, like we have the world in our hands. Like it is like sick from 25 to like 50. Like these women are fucking. And it's like being a 40-year-old man, like you can just go all the way down. Like I had me a little 20 something. I had me a little right at the 30s. I had the mid 30s. I had the 40s.
Not like you having generational.
Yeah, I mean, just like you could just climb through the ranks, but it's like all of them had their place. And at the end of the day, like that's the only promise for a man who is out here contemplating if he's afraid to be single. Like they out you. I mean, not to say that it's like this whole exciting world, but I could tell a single man right now, I could give him like Instagrams of probably 5 women who I know that's single that just got that shit all the way together, seemingly like mentally as well. Because the biggest problem is there's a lot of women that's single like you talk about, but as soon as a nigga fuck them, they got to deal with all of their fucking issues. Because you start fucking these crazy ass chicks and they be on some other shit. Like, oh, they run dick away. You running the dick away. Some of y'all listening right now is running the dick away because as soon as a nigga fuck you, you don't know how to act. You start doing too much. And now he be like, yeah, I can't fuck her no more. Like I literally have friends who like, yo, you fuck her? Yeah, I can't fuck her no more. Nope. Like, nope. She says some crazy shit or she did some crazy shit and I just had to fucking walk away.
So what is an example of crazy shit? Like stalking you, making demands, like, because I feel like sometimes the scale of crazy from men to women is a little different.
I've had like I literally have a chick name in my phone right now. It says "Do not answer," and this probably happened like almost like 7 years ago. And I just remember like she used to always see me at church, and she would always like speak and everything. She was like flirty, and then at some point she realized me and my wife wasn't together. And she just started sending me DMs. I didn't know her name or nothing. She started sending me DMs. Hey, what's up, handsome? Da da da. Y'all still together? Like, no, I'm separated. And one night, like, we ended up at the same place together, like the same bar. And it just happened to just click. And we ended up, she coming back to my place. And the next day, like from the time she left to probably like 2:00, I had like a meeting or something. I had like 5, 6 different messages, missed call. And it was like, hey, then it was like, thinking about you. Oh my God, like, what did you think? It was amazing. It was good. Did you like it? Well, you're just not going to respond to me. Okay, I see what this is. By the time I got to all of the messages, I was like, oh, this bitch is nuts. Like, shorty, you got to calm down. Like, just chill. Like, it was one time. Like, let's just see what happens. You know, I'll hook up with you again, but like, just chill. And she was just like all in her feelings. Like, oh, you don't have to tell me. Da 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 da. Like, it just this whole long thing. And I was like, oh yeah, I can't do that no more. And so she blocked me, and I was like happy that she blocked me on Facebook. And I was like, cool. And then we ended up in like a group or something together. And she was like, oh, hi, Mr. Brian or something. And I was just like, oh yeah, hey. But then it was another chick who did the same shit. And she tried to say that I like stole her clothes. Like, this bitch was like, I stole her fucking young ass fucking camo jacket. Like, bitch, don't nobody want your camo fucking jacket. Like, fuck you.
Like, what are you gonna do with it?
Right. I wasn't gonna do shit with it. I'm like, you left some shit. Like, if you leave some shit at my house, like, that's on you. So she did the same thing, texted me a whole bunch of shit. She had already sent me like a bunch of naked pictures. The body ain't even match. Like, you know, she took them pictures probably 3 years before I have probably fucked her. And then she just was like over the fucking top. Like, she had took a shower and came out in lingerie, had her Bluetooth speaker on, like singing the songs while she was fucking me. Like, bitch, you doing way too much. And so, and on top of that, right? This is when I was separated. So I felt like she did some bitch nigga shit, right?
Oh shit.
We was like sitting there, and she was like, oh, like, your ex-wife mess with such and such. And I was like, I don't know, like, some nigga who she always said she was cool with. She was like, oh, I seen them out together last week. And I was just like, oh, okay, like, I'm not with her, so it really don't matter. You know what I mean? And I felt like that was that bitch nigga shit that niggas do when they try and get some pussy. Like, oh yeah, you know, I seen your dude. Y'all still fuck with each other. And it was like one of the moments where I didn't even really want to fuck her. And she just was like, damn, like, I guess I wasted my time putting together this overnight bag. And I was just like, what you got overnight bag for? She was like, I thought you was taking me back to your house. And I was like, fuck it, come on. and I really, like, I knew she was over the top. Right afterwards, she started sending me all these messages. And I had left to go to Hawaii for work. And I was in Hawaii, and I'm like, yo, I'm not home. I told you, like, I'm not. She's like, well, I'll come get my stuff tomorrow. I'm like, no, like, I'm in Hawaii. And this bitch was like, okay, I see what the fuck it is. You're playing games. Like, no, like, bitch, I'm really in Hawaii. So when I got back, she walked in the barbershop while I was getting my hair cut and sat down. And niggas was like, oh, she with you? And I'm like, I guess. And then, like, as soon as I got out the chair, she like walked me to my car. And they thought we was like together. I had to go back in and clean this shit up because niggas thought that was like my chick or something. So she sat there the whole time I'm getting my hair cut, talking to the people. And then when I get out the chair, she walked with me like we together. And then as soon as I get the bag out the back seat with her little jacket, and she like snatched the shit and walked off. And I was like, yo, that bitch was crazy. Niggas was like, yo, that bitch was acting like y'all was together. I was like, I know. But
That's
yeah,
insane.
I done had a couple of them situations, but it'd be scary, yo.
Yeah, thankfully, thankfully I'm not that type of girl. Like, I just think, read the room, bitch. Before we wrap up, have you seen the meme going around where it's like there's 4 different type of women in Baltimore?
No, yeah, I seen the 2. I seen the one with the 2 one.
Okay, so
it was
one,
Jess Hilarious and the chick Krishan Rock or something.
Yeah, and so this one had Tammy Rivera. That's with Waka. And Tiny, Tiny.
Who's Tiny?
The crackhead they be doing the videos of.
I seen something where the people was like saying something. Oh, okay, yeah.
And I took great offense to this. I took much great offense to that.
Yeah, because I was like, that's not my Baltimore. And I
was like, I feel like For some people, it's Baltimore, yes, but I
But
don't fit into.
we've talked about this before. Like, there's several different Baltimores. Like, we talked about this
Oh,
on
we
an
did. Yeah,
episode when
we did.
like during the pandemic and stuff, and like how certain things exposed that it's two different Baltimores.
100%. And shit like that always exposes to me because I'm like, I don't know people like that.
Yeah, because I put up a post last night of when I used to throw parties, right? And when I used to throw parties, like we had a dress code, like no jeans, no sneakers. And we literally like would pack the place out and it would be 10-1 women. But it was pretty much like that Morgan State, Coppin, UMES, Howard, like people who went to college. And we had that college crowd on lock because we went to Poly and then it was like Poly City, you know, that whole that whole crew of like citywide high schools, you know, people who went on to go to college, whether it was just Morgan or Coppin or whatever. But we had that on lock. And that was like our crowd. And that was like, to me, always a different Baltimore. Like I knew a chick who was like, would hang out at the parties that like Jazzy threw versus going to the parties that Ezekwe threw. Like it was just a different level. Yes. Like you go in there, you see your hustlers, your homeboys that, you know, into certain shit. And then you go to certain parties and you be like, everybody dressed up and acting nice and accordingly. And then you get your 4 or 5 hustlers that stand out because now they like look lost and they like got on jeans and hoodies and niggas is in suits. And you like, who invited these niggas to the Christmas party?
That's the thing. I feel like very much so. And I feel like that's why I get to float under the radar, at least in the city, is because I did not go to one of the big high schools, right? In Baltimore, for people who don't know, nobody cares what fucking college you went to. They care what high school you go to. And I feel like I get to float by because I ain't go to none of these high schools.
and you didn't go to any of the colleges here. You know what I mean?
did not. So I really skirt through. I feel like a lot of people question. I had somebody ask me, like, you're really from Baltimore? And I'm like, bitch, yeah. Like, I just don't, I'm not in those same circles. But I know a lot of people in those circles. But I get to skirt by, which I like because I like being low key. Even though our guest here, he's like the king of Baltimore. So
I had this girl who went to, damn, I don't want to see the name of the school. I don't really give a fuck. Fuck her. She went to IND. And she was like, oh, I went to IND. And I was like, oh, and back in my mind, like, oh, this pussy gonna be easy because she went to private school. So it was probably, I didn't even really put forth no effort. And then one day out the blue, she just hit me late at night, like, yo, you busy? And I'm like, nah. So she like, come through. So I come through. And this was another situation of like a bitch just saying too much. Like after we was done, she was like, I told my girl I was going to fuck you when I met you. I'm like, what? She just
so you're like, the easy one, bitch.
Right. She tried to make me feel like I'm easy. And then on top of that, I was just like, all right, whatever. Like, you know, so then she was just on some like, oh, you know, like, what is this now? I'm like, what you mean, what is this now? You just said this is what you wanted. Like, you just want to fuck. And she was just like, yeah. And so I'm like, all right, cool. Well, call me again when you want to fuck. So I came back maybe like 2 months later to fuck, right? So I fucked this time. And then the bitch say something stupid like, I don't know. She said something real dumb. It was something she said that was real dumb. Like, oh yeah, like, I'm going to tell my girls something because I'm proud of this fuck. I did good for myself. And I'm just like, bitch, I wouldn't even tell nobody I fucked you. Like, you're fucking terrible.
Sweet Jesus.
But in the back of my mind, I was just like you cool. Like, but it was just like, you just went over top. Like she just felt like she had made it to like a certain mark. And that's what in the back. So my point was like, that's what you get with that corny ass private school pussy. Like, it was just like, yeah, you know, you went to school with some corny ass chicks. I mean, like that last picture you was in, we talked about that. I mean, it was some money in that picture, but the difference is some of the black girls that went to private school be having identity crisis and be like, I think lost.
That is a fair point because it is a very looking back, it can be very traumatic for some folk, right? And so what I always appreciated was that my grandmother said 3 things to me when I went to that school. She said, remember your ass is black. These white girls not your friend. And we don't have no money. And those are the three things my granny said to me when I went to that school. And I think too, for me, it was like I did not pretend, because it was like, even though I went there, I fucking came home to either North and Pulaski or Mosher and Poplar Grove. So it was very hard to forget where the fuck I came from. So, but that was always the conversation. So I could attest. But I think what also helps too is post going to one of those schools where college you went to.
Yeah.
So if you stayed in that space, then there you go. But
I mean, Temple just such a big school. Y'all had a nice sized Black population.
Yeah, that's the reason. One of the reasons why I went there, right? And so, and then also it was affordable, and I could go out of state. So shout out to TU. All right. Well, any final thoughts, words? We have the holiday season coming up. You know, I did get a quick question. I felt like we did this before, but a refresher. Somebody asked what's a good gift to get their boo thing, and
we do this shit every fucking year.
They do it so often. I wish
we do it every fucking year, and I get so fucking irritated.
We do it either at Christmas or Valentine's.
Right. And my whole thing is, you gotta understand the nigga that you fucking with. Like, if you really like him enough to spend time with him, look at what he does. Like, I literally go and smoke cigars and watch sports and do stuff like that. Like, you can get a nice decanter set. You can get some nice Glencairn whiskey glasses that are like travel glasses. You can go buy like a box of cigars. You can find out from a friend, or you could call a place that he smokes at and be like, hey, what does he smoke? The people there know, like, oh, he smokes this cigar. You could go buy a nice box of cigars of 10. You can get a custom humidor made, like with his name on it. And then we could go back into the whiskey realm, where you can find out like some good whiskeys and put together like, a nice, like I said, decanter set, Glencairn glasses, whiskey. Then you can switch over. If he's not into smoking and drinking, you can switch over to like maybe some like electronics type of shit. You might want to get like a sound bar for his TV.
Come on, rattling them off.
He really, you gotta just go into what he's into.
Yeah,
like,
it's not that hard. And I think too,
like, if you feel people overthink it. Like, if you gotta do all of that, you don't even know him well enough.
And to your point, if you think about it, like if it's like, oh, he has all these things, and think about the experiences, right? Like you just mentioned, cigar, sports, maybe it's a concert he want to go to, some shit like that. It's
like plenty of like distilleries and places you can go to. You could take him on like a tour, and he could like go and y'all sample different drinks. You could be like, oh, let's go to Kentucky. We're going to do the Bourbon Trail in the spring. And I already paid for the tickets. It's so many different things you can do to be like, I want to do something that you like with you. And so we're going to do it this way. Like, I don't plan to I don't be like, oh yeah, I'm like excited about going to the winery this weekend because it's some shit that I love to do. But I know if she likes that, that's what the fuck I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like, I am so fucking excited about this candle run I got to do on Saturday. Like, I know I'm going to see a bunch of listeners up in Bed Bath & Beyond on Saturday morning, 6 a.m. when I go get my candles. But I mean, that's the type of shit like where it's like, if that's what my babe like to do, and she like, oh, we gotta get these candles. Like, that's what we going to do. We going to get these motherfucking candles 6 a.m. babe. Like, just pull up, and that's what we going to do. But like, so it's like, you got to know the type of shit that your person like. Like, don't tell me that's your person and you can't tell me shit that they like. Like, that's where I'm looking at you. Yeah, I'm looking at you like, you fucking silly, because you telling me how much you love this man or how much you like him. You ready to go spend some fucking money. You don't even know what the fuck to buy.
Yeah, because, I'm not struggling about that. Even the people that I'm just casually connected to, I could think of very nice gifts to give them. So very simple, very simple.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard. I think it's very easy if you just sit down and you think about what that person does on a daily basis and their free time, like on the weekends, shit like that. I mean, we are very simple. Men are very fucking simple. Y'all the ones that's fucking complicated.
Well, that's another conversation for another day. So, Problematic Fav, you went to Problematic today.
Yeah,
funny as fuck though.
I had to go back into my bag. I just want to make a disclaimer that a lot of these situations happened a long, long, long time ago.
Go ahead and put your disclaimer.
To protect those individuals who I may have spoken of, if you think it's you, it might be you. But then again, it might have been like 3 situations that's like that. So don't feel like it was about you. If you think it's about you, send me a DM. I'll apologize and I'll let you know if it was about you. But a lot of y'all do the same shit. So,
Fair enough.
if you feel seen, then get some help.
You're a fucking fool, yo.
I have one more episode left of Jax. I don't even know the name of the fucking show anymore.
Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, I got one more episode left. The final.
Okay, we'll have to talk about this the next time you're on.
Yeah, and then I'm starting Gangs of London tonight.
I've been binging Yellowstone.
Yeah, I heard that's good.
It's so fucking good. It's some
What
white
about
people.
Gangs of London? You watch Gangs of London yet?
No, what's that on?
It's a new season 2 starting. I'm not sure what it's on.
Let me Google this. But I did catch up because you always talked about it. I did watch
BMF.
what's the show with no, I don't have stars. The guy
Raising
with
Canaan? Oh, and that's all the power stuff.
No, the guy with the fucked up eye, he's in a gangster show from
Oh shit.
Forrest Whitaker is in it. I couldn't think of his
Harlem
name.
something.
Yes,
Godfather of Harlem.
Yes, I watched that. I
was
did
good,
catch up
right?
on that. Yeah, that was good too.
Yeah. And they was showing how they was like pushing Malcolm out.
Yes. I did watch that. So I have a lot of things to watch over the next couple weeks or so, but Yellowstone I'm caught up on. So now I can move to the next shit. So
Inside Man was good.
That's on my list as well. And then somebody said on Netflix, $18.99.
$18.99.
Yeah, it's new. It's on Netflix. It was really good.
Some slave shit.
No, it's like it was like what is it? It was you threw my fucking thought. But no, it was like a some like thriller where they were on a ship and they were like, you were watching it like, what the fuck is this about to be? And then it's like, oh my God. Okay. Well, that was a twist.
000 was good.
Look at all this fucking TV, yo.
Yo, I don't only watch TV at the cigar shop. That's the crazy part. Like, I don't really get a chance to watch TV at home. But when I go to the cigar shop, that's when I catch up on my TV.
That's when you get to it.
Yeah, so as soon as the game go off, we always have like a show ready to watch for like 1 or 2 hours. And then I get home like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll be fucking tired the next day.
Well, friend, this was real.
Yeah, it was real. Thank you. And I want to give a big thank you to all the people who donated towards the 3 families that I fed during Thanksgiving through my nonprofit, Baltimore Bikers. Yeah, I appreciate it. So it was pretty cool going around, passing out the dinners. Got a text message from the lady.
Motherfucking Nino Brown.
Got a text message from one of the women saying how good the food was. And I think sometimes when people like get stuff like that, they don't expect the food to be good. But, you know, I got it from my buddy who caters, KDW Catering. Appreciate his support as well. And, you know, it was just cool. Like, I just feel like at this point, I don't know, I just always want to be doing something to like always just try to be doing something in the community, impacting people. And then I think that's where it comes from too, where like when a man is single and he does all this stuff, like that gets you a lot of pussy too. Like my therapist actually questioned that I was doing positive work in the community. Was it to have sex with more women, or was it to actually like help people? And I thought that was so fucking rude. I really thought that was rude.
I don't think it's rude because I'm sure that may be the intent of some people.
I get that, but I'm saying at the end of the day, like I think for most women, they are attracted to men who are like in positions of power or doing like boss shit. So I don't think it's so much like I gotta go do this stuff to attract women. I think when you're doing stuff in a leadership position, it attracts women anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, power.
Yeah, like so you're in a power position. Like women are attracted to a man who can like walk into a room without having to be like loud and outrageous,
but
and still be able to command like a certain respect.
Wow, he's giving back to his community. It's like a little cherry on top.
Yeah, and make your pussy a little wet when you see it.
Oh goodness, see, that's why she asked the question.
I'm just saying though, I've been around women where I felt like they got moist because they're like, "Oh, you do so much," or "Oh, that's so good. You want to fuck me?"
Oh my God, get the fuck off my phone.
like you work so much and you do so much, like, you know, like, who's taking care of you? When do you have time to relax?
Who's taking care of you? Who's taking care of you? Nigga. Well, thank you so much for coming on as always.
Always, you know, anytime you ask me to record, I take my hour out of my day, despite who I might be stealing this time from.
I always appreciate you for it.
Yeah, I know you do.
Bye.
All right. Thanks.
All right, that is it for this week's episode. I want to thank our Problematic Fav Brian for always dropping by and doing a hilariously wonderful ratchet episode with us. Also, be sure to support our sponsor, For Your Wellness. You can use the code Boonie for 20% off your orders through December 31st, 2022. All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or any apps that you listen to your favorites on. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review too. You might just hear your review on the next episode. Follow us on all social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. I don't make these pretty images for nothing. Okay. Have a dope ass week. Stay healthy, safe, and sane. Thank you for listening. And remember, the ratchet in me always honors the ratchet in you. Namaste. Until next time.